going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
Greetings to everyone out there in the YouTube land. I'm Ahmed Hassanin, and I just want to give a shout out to Coach Dan. Thank you for all the support you show the team and the players. Everyone hit the like, subscription button, and yell woo in the comments. Thank you, and go Lions.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
All right, well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host, once again, Dan Thornton. Want to thank you all for joining us here today, Saturday morning. You know what? We got a hot rod topic to talk about. If you're wondering where the normal screens are and if it sounds a little different, hey, the wife has informed me the office is getting a facelift and change. So she didn't listen to what I had to say about it. She said, hey, this is what we're doing. So at least today, maybe tomorrow, the office in the background will be a little bit different. All right, moving on from that, though, you can probably see this is a hot rod topic for all Lions fans. The news came out late yesterday, maybe the middle of the day yesterday. I couldn't get it to it until now. So I get some people are going to say, well, it's not breaking news. Well, it's breaking news to somebody. So at least take a deep breath and say that with this. We also got some information that emerged in regards to Terrion Arnold from his lawyer about the situation and how Terrion Arnold's situation has affected the Lions. It sounds like interest in trading, going all in for Max Crosby. We're going to talk about this. This is not going to be a long show today. I've got coaching stuff I've got to do this morning. Basically, in a nutshell, we have an all-conference meeting here at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I have to prep for it, get ready for it, and then drive out to it. So I'm going to give you about 15, 25 minutes, whatever it may be, and then get out of here. All right, let's start with the first things first, though. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. If you could do that, that would be great. Also, if you have a half second of time, completely free of charge, won't cost you a dime, reach on over, hit the thumbs up button, the like button, hit all the buttons. We try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. Last, never least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan where I reside and can personally help you, then go ahead and give me a call, shoot me a text. You see the number scroll on the screen, 269-998-2384. Can have a quick conversation, how I can work for you, help you out, try to make the process easier, save you a lot of hassle, a lot of money. I know we closed on a house yesterday for a couple of Dew Crew members who are out of the state. And then later today, I'll be showing a couple of you guys up in the greater Grand Rapids area some houses. So if you want somebody who's going to watchdog you, make sure nobody jobs you, leads you astray, charges you too much money for stuff, then go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text, and we'll go from there. All right, with all that done, set out of the way, let's go ahead, get right into the main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day, here it is. And let's just power through this as fast as we can. The Lions came out and, well, they didn't deny this report, which means there's probably more validity to it than any of us really would have guessed. This report came out, and it started out with, a couple different outlets getting the information, passing it on, and then more and more people ran through it. When asked about it, Lions representation didn't shoot it down. They didn't say this, they didn't say that, but neither did the Raiders. This thing hit like wildfire yesterday. I'm just going to summarize for it. It sounds like before the Terrion Arnold legal situation really kind of developed, Lions had some conversations amongst themselves and the Raiders about going and trading for somebody. You're going to say, well, who is that? Well, you probably saw the main thumbnail, so you know that. And that individual, hey, he's been talked about coming to Detroit for, let's face it, the last 2 to 3 seasons. But it sounds like there's more and more validity that the Lions were considering going and making a big push for Max Crosby. There's no kind of definitive information what the Lions would have had to give up. It's assumed, but we don't know, that it would be a first-round pick at the least, along with some other draft capitals, potentially a player of interest. Where would it all go? Well, here's what we do know. You add Max Crosby to this defense, and it probably is significantly better. The front four probably doesn't need as much blitzing, although I would still do it as coach. They don't ask me. You look at Hutchinson, you look at Crosby, you look at Aleem, the Dream, McNeil, and whoever else you're going to put in that front line. That's a fearsome foursome. They're able to get to the quarterback probably on a consistent basis. Mad Max, you guys understand last year he did not want to be a part of the Raiders anymore after the way they finished the season. Yes, there's some information that says he had to have cleanup surgery on one of his knees. That's why the Raiders shut him down. Crosby comes out and says, nah, I was able to go. They chose to sit me to try to pursue and other bets, to be fair, with the Raiders to try to secure the higher draft pick, etc. That didn't sit well with Max at all. Now he wants out. Sounds like he's going to get out of Raiderville. And because of everything that happened with the Terrion Arnold situation, Lions are putting a pause on things. You have seen at the scouting combine, they are interviewing a lot of cornerbacks. They are showing interest in a lot of cornerbacks. Is that because they're looking to add cornerbacks, or is it because, they're just doing their due diligence? That's where we all have to try to be a detective and say, hey, what's legitimate, what's not? Well, going on to the Terrion Arnold situation, if you don't know, I'll try to quickly catch you up. About a week ago, it came out that Florida situation emerged with the Airbnb. Somebody broke into and robbed Arnold's facility there, or where he was staying. Took about $100,000 in cash, a necklace worth about $50,000, $60,000, NFL issued cell phone, and a couple other items. If you don't know, when you're an NFL player, they do give you a cell phone just for specific reasons. If somebody has to, from the team, the organization, the league, specifically a hold of you and not on your personal device, you do get that. All that being said, it would appear a conversation was had between Terrion Arnold, some friends of his, one person who's alleged to be a girlfriend. Arnold and his lawyer, I should say, have come out and vehemently denied that he's had anything to do with this. The accusations are kidnapping, armed robbery, etc. A couple people have been charged. Arnold has not been charged. The real gas on the fire of this situation came roughly 6 days later after the news broke, when a Florida judge put out a 8-page statement roughly saying that Arnold had to be a part of this. And I'm paraphrasing here. It's not exactly that he may have not been physically there, but he must have had conversations with the group and been somewhat involved. There's a text that's saying, hold the individual until Terrion Arnold got there. Apparently, Terrion Arnold never got there. So is that somebody just putting out a text? I don't know. I don't know enough about it to have really an opinion one way or the other. Only thing I know is from a legal standpoint, Terrion Arnold has not been charged. Terrion Arnold may know these people. That's not a crime. His lawyer did come out yesterday and put out a big statement saying he vehemently denies having anything to do with this. And until the legal process fully concludes, who knows? I have no doubt NFL front offices have been on this. If you don't know, I'll bring you up to speed. NFL employs a ton of former detectives, law enforcement officials from the CIA, FBI, area law enforcement. So I'm sure they've been on this doing their own review for a week. The Shield protects the Shield big time. They understand it's a multi-billion-dollar business, and they're not going to let a couple kids, try to tarnish the Shield, at least as best they can. So with that being said, it does sound like the Lions, until this resolves, they're not willing to make a trade involving any kind of first or second round pick. Why is that? If Terrion Arnold is banned by the league, suspended for a year or two, whatever it may be, they know they have to go out and now readdress the cornerback situation that they so aggressively addressed just a couple seasons ago when they added Rakestraw, Arnold, etc. The fact that TA and Rakestraw may not be on this team a year from now could be a big loss for the team, because obviously you lost those draft picks. Circling back around to Max Crosby, if they are going to put it on hold, I understand that. But here's where I think things get interesting. We've all been talking about this could be the offseason where Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell change their normalities. If you watch the show for any length of time, I'm always watching trends, trying to see people's norms with things. And this would be a massive shift in normality for both gentlemen and the Detroit Lions organization under them. If you're trading for Max Crosby, that's not a trade for 5 years from now. That's a trade for this year and next year. Who knows? Maybe you get a third year out of them at a high level. It would be the real first sign the Lions are all in it to win it now. Could it be a sign that Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell understand their seats are getting a little warm? Did Sheila have a conversation with them and say, hey, You've done a great job switching the team around, revitalizing the team, but missing the playoffs 2 straight years, that's not going to fly with her. That's a conversation probably us as fans have to have. What do you do with the Detroit Lions situation right now? It's clear based on this statement. If you believe Albert Breer and all the guys with, that get a full-time job, understanding everything that's going on with the league, knowing all the back channels, all the conversations, all the behind-the-scenes stuff, if you believe those guys are good at their job, even somewhat, and are somewhat right on this, then we all have to believe Brad Holmes is legitimately trying to shop around for a Max Crosby or somebody like that to add to this Lions team. It probably also means that Brad Holmes doesn't think they can achieve getting somebody like that in the first or second round. It would have to be somebody maybe like a Med Hassanin that you can draft, bring in, and develop. There are some good pass rushers in this draft. You have to ask yourself, if you want to play the role of GM, do you feel like at pick 17 or wherever the Lions end up picking, do you think you can get somebody who can make an immediate impact for 1 to 2 years like Crosby or whoever else they may acquire? My personal opinion is still this on Max Crosby. As much as I like the guy, I don't think he's worth 2 first-round picks. Not in my opinion. You can have a different opinion. I would love to add him, but if the Lions are going to add him, my view, he probably got maybe a second, a fourth, or maybe something else like that. I would not invest the future with a couple first-round picks. I understand Micah Parsons has kind of set the norm, at least for the next season or two, what it's going to take to get a premium pass rushing defensive end, but I also think the Packers are going to suffer from that a little bit, especially, unfortunately, since he's got the back situation and now a torn ACL. That's going to impact the team. Where do you think about this situation? What do you do? Let's make this a 2-parter. What do you do with TA? And I'm guessing the Lions aren't going to do anything. They're not going to come out and give a public statement or anything until they know more about what is happening from a legal standpoint with him. Again, I know we talked about this lately yesterday. My opinion is, in the world of media, TA is guilty until proven innocent. The problem with that is, in reality, he should be innocent until proven guilty. And I don't think that's the case there. Do you move on from him? Do you reinvest and draft into another cornerback? Has this changed the entire scope of the offseason for the Detroit Lions? My guess is it's probably about 60% yes. They are going to reevaluate the cornerback position in the draft or free agency and try to bring in some, because there's a big unknown with Terrion Arnold right now. And you can't have another Frank Ragnow situation where, let's just say, the Lions sit around, don't do anything until we know one way or the other what's going on with Terrion Arnold. But the problem is, if you get past free agency, you get past the draft, and then we find out Terrion Arnold is out for the year, you got to cut him or whatever. He's not going to have any trade value if you got to cut him. If you got to move off him, and at that point, you're really limited on what you can do to, replace him on the team. So my anticipation is the Lions are going to be almost forced into trying to address the cornerback situation. The safety position, you already know it was probably going to be a point of interest with Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. But now, because of that unknown situation with TA, it does sound like the Lions were going to make a big move to try to get Max Crosby, and this is per multiple league sources, but because of the TA situation, that's been put on hold. You're the Lions right now. How are you handling this? What are you doing? Me, Raquel Singh, Amik Robinson, you probably got to try to re-sign them super fast. Yes, you probably invest into a cornerback in free agency. Might not want to do it, but you might have to do it. If I'm the Lions, I'm still trying to get, if it was me, I'd still try to get Styles, the linebacker out of Ohio State. I just think that kid is just such a once-in-a-lifetime type player. Somebody that is 6 foot, they're saying 6'5", not 6'4" now, runs a 4.49, and, just can cover like a safety because he used to be a safety. Yeah, you're not getting another player like that anytime in the next 10 years, more than likely. All right, Duke, like I said, I got to cut this one a little short. I'm going to get over to you guys, see what you have to say about all these topics. There's probably going to be a whole lot more news coming out about it here today, tomorrow, next week. This story is not drying up anytime soon. All right, Bo, good morning, Duke. Always looked on the bright side of life. Exclamation point. Woo! I like the way you're thinking. Conan, I read about this late yesterday. I was shocked to hear the team was going to pull the trigger. Me too. And again, it doesn't say what they were going to give up for Max Crosby, just that they were going to go after him. Could it be that they could have got Crosby for a couple second-round picks? If they could do that, I probably would do it. All right, Dre, if this happens, I hope everyone fights for Brad Holmes. when the Lions don't win the division and get beat in the first round because another big name old edge rusher is not the answer. There are more people saying edge is not the answer. Just good morning, fellas and ladies. Look, Brad's butt is sitting on the hot seat. That's why they are now thinking about making that splash. Bears are good, Green Bay legit, and Vikings get a quarterback. They win the North. We talked about it last year. I thought the Vikings had the best team overall, but a lot of that is because they were banking on having a rookie contract for the next 3 to 4 years with J.J. McCarthy. But J.J. McCarthy, as we all know, might be losing some flavor over in Minnesota. Dre Day, listening in the rest of the morning. Go Lions. Have a good day, my friend. Catch you on the flip side. Art, I missed the story. Just what is Terrion Arnold do? I kind of already mentioned it. Hopefully you caught that, Art. I don't want to keep repeating it. But, hey, he's got a whole lot of questions that need answered from a legal standpoint. Same old soup. Good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke crew. Like number 3. Thank you for that. Papa Noel. If you ask TA's lawyer, he said nothing and was stating the judge is biased. Okay, yeah, that's probably a fair way to summarize it. Dean, Coach, Duke crew, if we're going to trade for Crosby before the TA legal issues, we still make some moves. I think we should still add Max. I don't doubt if the Lions get some sort of resolve on the Arnold situation, they probably are going to be very active trying to acquire talent. Whether it's Max Crosby, we'll see before the NFL before the NFL draft. Vincent, good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke crew. Same to you. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. So TA and his boys threw away $15 million over $100,000. Next level math right there. Probably not the math I would use. I would just summarize that. Detroit D, good morning, Duke crew. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, my friend. Hopefully you're having a phenomenal morning. Susan, morning, Vincent, Dean, Papa, Detroit D. Come on, Brad. If not, Max, get some help for the defense. Could be they do. Jim, concerned about TA. I would like Max, but maybe we need a free agent corner first. I think you're right on that. I think we might have to address the cornerback situation a little bit more now in the draft or free agency because of the unknown factor of Terrion Arnold. Vincent, good morning. Susan Scott. Mo, what would Machiavelli think? We'll find out. I don't know. Dave, Pipe Dream, what will the Raiders want for him? Question mark. They're saying 2 to 3 first-round picks with 2 being ones. No way he's broken no. Could be right. Drake is laughing at Bo. Art, Lions are known for not putting up with drama. I would agree with that. Or legal issues from the players. Yeah, they have a long-standing history of that. I would agree with that 100%, Art. Let's see, Henry Moore. Good morning, Coach Dan, Duke crew. What a team. What podcast. Exclamation point. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! Back at you. Drake, what would he get back other than Crosby, Dave? I doubt it would be just Max. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. If you could, maybe if you could get the Raiders to give up one of their better corners and Max Crosby, then maybe at least I would be a little bit more open to higher round draft picks. Jen, good morning, all. Exclamation point. Back at you. Henry Moore, good morning, Jen. Just Brittany Sanitation Duco, Man Max next to Aleem, Williams, and Hutch would look real nice, just saying. I concur. No doubt, says Papa. Jen, good morning, Henry. Did TA step in some stuff or what? Question mark. Drama. It does sound like, man, if nothing else, we can say this. He hung out with some people that did something that they probably really shouldn't have and should have just let the local law enforcement handle it. That being said, hopefully we never find out anything that Terrion Arnold masterminded or, was really a part of it. I'm trying to think positive about the guy. Five Fingers Freddy, what does it mean? Question mark. Answer. Brad knows he and Dan have to win or they are fired. I think there's a lot of validity to that. The guys, if you think about this, it's their profession. Whether you're saying the coaching aspect or the general manager aspect, you got to win to stay relevant and stay employed. At some point, Sheila may have told him, you need to get something done here. We need to get, and I'll just make something up. You're going to need to get to the NFC title game again. Otherwise, I've got to look for other people. Henry Moore, it's that guilty by association thing, Jen. Might be right, John, right? John agrees. Trim Reaper, good morning, Coach Dan, the mighty Duke crew. Exclamation point, let's go Lions. Woo! Hey, good to see you, Trim. So long, man. Talking about somebody I haven't seen on saying, hey, Duke crew, hey, you. Queen Mary, good morning, Duke crew. Welcome to another blessed day. Always blessed to hang out with the Duke crew. Vincent, Hutch and Crosby would be deadly for opposing offensive lines. Probably accurate. Jen, so right, Henry, but this could derail TA's career and his life. These players have a hard time leaving their past behind. Yeah, if you grew up with, whoever, it's hard to say, hey, now I got to cut ties with you. Or it could just simply be, man, some kids and, to me, they're 21, 22-year-old kids. They're just that. They're kids. They sometimes don't always make the best choices. I know I didn't always at that age. Let's see. Queen Mary, the question of the day is, who are we trading for Max? I'm guessing, don't know this, Mary. I'm guessing it would be draft picks. Jen, good morning, Mary. It was 2 firsts in a draft. All right. Tori Apple, is Max worth it? Question mark. And we aren't going for the trade now just because TA, it does sound like that put a lot of pause on things. Queen Mary, good morning. Jen, Henry, okay, thanks, Jen. Pat, good morning. Just say no to first rounders for Crosby. Cut TA, save us from the drama. Might end up happening. Jen, Tori, we might need our picks because we need to pick up a safety or cornerback. Yes, and this is a pretty good draft for safeties. There are some very athletic ones out there. If you watch the combine at all, and not that athleticism totally translates to success as far as skill sets. Don't hurt, though. All right, Steve, good morning, coach and crew. Even if we were to get Crosby on the other end of Hutch, you still have a strong interior on the defense line or a mobile quarterback lead. Yeah, you have to be strong up the middle for sure. Well, I totally agree with that. Jen, Pat Rock, if he is cleared, trade him and agree to cut the drama. Yeah, the problem is I don't think right now with the legal ramifications and the question marks, even if he's cleared, his trade value is going to be incredibly minimal. Like maybe you get an 8th round pick, and there are no 8th round picks. All right, Steve, sorry about the last text. Even with Crosby and Hutch, you still need a strong interior on the offensive line, or a mobile quarterback will eat you up. Yeah, I figured that's where you're going, man. Queen Mary TA had nothing to do with what happened in Florida just because he knew them, and he's known his name is out there. I'm with proven facts first before I drag the young man through the dirt, my opinion. Yeah, and I agree with you. Right now, it's just the society we live in. He's guilty until proven innocent. Even if he's proven innocent, people are going to still look at him sideways. You know, the question I would have in just throwing this out there, is a judge up for re-election and trying to get his name out there? You know, and again, for those who don't know, I was a long-time sports reporter, courtroom reporter. It doesn't happen where sometimes people try to use a person's star power to get their name out in the media more and more. Wouldn't be the first time. Steve Rogers, could the Raiders throw in a corner or 2 late-round picks? Both could be options. Henry Moore, good morning, Queen Mary. I hope your day is stupendous. I do too. All right, Jen agreed, Mary, but he needs to pick better friends. Might be accurate. Amy, good morning to our fabulous leader, Coach Dan, and the amazing Duke crew. Exclamation points. Good morning, Queen Mary, Henry, Jen, Susan Scott, Tori Apple, Trim, Bobu, same old soup, Papa Noel, and Go Lions. Exclamation point. Thank you for all that. Jen, good morning. Amy, Johnny, how come I can't get on the site until now? It's been like that the last 2 days. That I don't know, my friend. Vincent, Steve Porter, or Strokes possibly. Could be. Henry Moore, good morning, Amy. Kim, if the Lions had interest in Crosby, they were doing their due diligence to show ownership. They were willing to do business differently to get to the Super Bowl. Could be. Accurate. 100%. Dave, good morning, greetings, salutations, everyone. Carrie, man, another person I haven't seen how to say good morning to everyone. And back at you, Southwest. I finally caught a live, laughing out loud. Greetings, salutations, Duke crew. Woo! Good to see you, Southwest, as always, my friend. Jen, good morning, Johnny. Mike, Terrion Arnold is holding coach in his basement. Call 911. We'll find out. Johnny, can anybody hear me? We can read you for sure, man. For sure. Mike, goodbye, Terrion. Might be. Good morning, Jen. Vincent, Mike is laughing. Johnny, I used to be able to catch this thing on here at 6:30. Now I don't hit the clock till 7, and everybody's already been on. Yeah, we start the show Eastern Standard Time at 7, but the show link goes up for people to comment. I don't know, usually about 20, 25 minutes before 7 o'clock, before the show goes on. Vincent, I thank you for your time, Coach Dan. Anytime, my friend. I enjoy it. Amy, oh no, exclamation point. We love that electric blue background, Boo Jen. It will be back, but probably going to be a day or 2. So she didn't ask me. I got home and she was like, hey, guess what? The office is getting a facelift. So it is what it is. Southwest. The hex with Max, laughing out loud. I don't care, man. So over. I'd rather get dude from Miami. That could be. Bo, Johnny, it's a YouTube thing. That's probably accurate. Jen, I will have to get some coffee. Going to listen. Everybody have a wonderful day. You too. And if you work today, hopefully it's a great day at work. Johnny, yes, it was worse. I'm getting sick of that myself. It happens. Yeah, not much I can do about YouTube. Queen Mary, good morning. Amy, Johnny, Yes, Southwest, I'm getting sick of that too. Fair enough. Henry Morris, Sr. Coach, we understand. We all have productive days. Hey, you have a productive day too. Queen Mary, good morning, my brother Johnny L. And I see your message yesterday. All right. Queen Mary, I must say the Styles brothers, wow. The combine, yeah. And again, I'm always looking for rarities. Like to me, Gibbs is a rare individual. St. Brown, rare. Jameson Williams, rare. Hutchinson, I don't think he's athletically like in that level where he's pretty rare though from a mass standpoint, lateral standpoint, body mass, BTI, all that stuff. He's pretty rare. And then, man, don't even get me going about Jack Campbell. The fact that he's able to hold that kind of weight in his lateral quickness is that big. Whew. Hey, I'm always looking to add people like that just are hard to replicate. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to get ready for coaching duties, etc. If there is more information that comes out later today or breaking news, I'll get it over to you as soon as possible. Before you depart, if you could be so kind, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. Be a good human being. We'll all have to pay attention to what's going on with Terrion Arnold and the Lions. But, hey, we'll see you guys all on the very next Lions Talk Live. Have a phenomenal day, everybody.